Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, we're going to discuss an update to the Capital One agreement to a $425 million settlement in response to allegations concerning their savings account interest rates. As a quick recap, if you have or ever had a Capital One 360 savings account, you may be owed money. And if you want a full breakdown, I'm going to attach the original video to this one and you can watch that after. But for a brief overview, this all started because Capital One advertised their 360 savings account as a high interest account, but according to customers and regulators, the bank quietly froze those interest rates at much lower levels for years. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau even filed a lawsuit claiming customers were cheated out of more than $2 billion in lost interest, and that lawsuit was dropped earlier this year, but a separate class action lawsuit kept moving forward, and now Capital One has agreed to settle for $425 million. So who's actually eligible to receive this money? Well, if you had a Capital One 360 savings account anytime between September 18, 2019 and June 16, 2025, then you qualify. That includes both current and former customers. So if you closed your account, but you had it open during that period, then you're still covered. Now here's the big question. How much money are we actually talking about? According to the settlement, payouts will be based on what customers would have earned if their 360 savings account had been paying the same rate as Capital One's 360 performance savings account. In other words, you'll get reimbursed for the difference in interest you missed out on. If you still have an open 360 savings account, there's an extra perk going forward. Your account will earn an interest rate that's at least double the national average savings rate reported by the FDIC, and that's already built into the settlement. Now let's talk about how to claim your money. Eligible clients need to submit a claim form, and you can also choose to write to the court if you object to the settlement. Now, there will be a link in the description, so for everyone asking from the previous video, check the description, click on the link. We're going to go over to the website now and walk you through exactly what you need to do. Now, in order for you to actually file your claim, you'll need your unique ID and your PIN. And then if we scroll here, it's going to show us exactly how to find that. Now, you should have received a notice indicating that you were part of the settlement class, and you will have that 10-character alphanumeric unique ID and a 4-digit PIN. Both values will be found on your notice. Now, if you did not receive a notice or you lost yours, you have to contact the settlement administrator by calling 1-888-832-2704 for assistance. So one of two things will have either happened. You would have been contacted by either mail or email with this information. And if you know you had one of these accounts, but you have not received it yet, what you need to do is call this number immediately to get your unique ID and to get your PIN. Once you have that, come back to this link and you can fill out all the information from there in order to get your settlement payout. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, you have until October 2nd, 2025 in order to file your claim. And if you want to know about the case highlights and the importance of transparency in the banking sector, then I'm going to attach the original video to this video at the end so you can check that out in case you want more details. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Recently, I've received several emails about this $425 million lawsuit with Capital One. So today, we're going to discuss Capital One's agreement to pay $425 million in a settlement, and this is a response to allegations concerning their savings accounts and interest rates. Now, this case has implications for numerous Capital One account holders, and I'm going to break down the details for you. We'll discuss the qualifications for this settlement and how you can get your payout. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's begin by discussing the background of this case. Capital One faced a class action lawsuit alleging that it misled customers holding its 360 savings account. The crux of the issue revolves around the introduction of a new product, the 360 Performance Savings Account, which offered higher interest rates. Plaintiffs claim that Capital One failed to adequately inform existing 360 saving account holders about this new option, resulting in them earning significantly less interest than they could have earned after the bank launched the new account on September 18, 2019. In other words, Capital One was accused of concealing certain details about this new savings account in order to avoid paying existing customers higher interest rates. rates. In fact, Capital One froze its 360 savings account interest rates at 0.3% in 2022, but it increased the 360 performance savings account interest rate to a high 4.35%. This disparity between the rates became more apparent as the Federal Reserve increased interest rates, amplifying the financial impact of the 360 savings account holders. On May 16, 2025, Capital One has agreed to the settlement, and it's important to note that the company denies any wrongdoing and that the decision to settle is a strategic move to avoid prolonged litigation and the associated costs without admitting any liability. So they're saying that they did this, but they're not at fault. However, they are willing to pay and give this settlement out. Under these settlement terms, Capital One will pay a total of $425 million, and this amount is divided into two main components. $300 million will be allocated for pro rata payments to class members, which simply means that the $300 million will be divided proportionately among everyone in the class action lawsuit who qualifies to receive this money. However, these payments are calculated based on the amount of interest each member would have earned if their 360 savings account had received the same interest rate as the 360 performance savings account during the relevant period. Another $125 million is designated for additional interest payments to approximately 75% of class members who continue to hold the legacy 360 savings account product. And now that we understand the reason for the settlement, let's talk about eligibility requirements. Now, this is the part that I think a lot of people had questions about and what you really wanted me to cover. This settlement covers individuals who held a 360 savings account with Capital One at any time since September 18th, 2019. So if you held a Capital One 360 savings account at any time since September 18th, 2019, you are eligible for this settlement. The exact amount each person is eligible for will be dependent on factors such as the duration that the account was held and the account balance during the specified period. So I can't say what each person will get. It will depend on those factors. However, what I can say is the first step is to visit the official settlement website and see if you are eligible for a payout, and this will likely require you to provide information about your Capital One 360 savings account. And this is again, I think, where there is some confusion. The settlement agreement has been filed, and that's in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, Alexandria Division. A judge's approval is required for the settlement to take effect. Now, the agreement, along with the plaintiff's motion seeking preliminary approval, was scheduled to be filed on June the 6th. If you go to look for the settlement website, you will not find it. We are still waiting for this approval, even though Capital One has agreed to the settlement. Now, a lot of people have been Googling the settlement and have been showing me that it says that it's closed. The settlement is not actually closed. The settlement that you're looking at is for a data breach. That one is old. It has nothing to do with this one, okay? You have not seen the website yet because it has not been set up. What I will do is put that in the description, because I know some people will watch this video a month from now, 2 months from now. They're going to watch it later on, and they will then want to know how to actually get the settlement. Check the description at that time, and then it should be there for you to go through the process of signing up. If you guys want me to walk you through that in a different video, then put that in the comments below, and I can do that when the website is actually up. Now, if you are eligible for this, the website will provide those instructions. And again, if you want me to, I'll show you how to file that claim and how you can confirm payment details, because that's simply how this is going to work. You'll probably need to provide your name, your email address, your mailing address to verify your identity and that you actually had a 360 savings account. And you will either receive a check by mail or you'll provide payment details online and they can deposit those funds to you. You do want to be aware that there will be a deadline for filing claims, so you want to do it as promptly as possible. And again, you will find more information about this claim on the official Capital One settlement website, and I will link that in the description when it becomes available. Beyond the current financial compensation though, Capital One has agreed to maintain an interest rate on its 360 savings account that is at least double the national average for saving deposit accounts as calculated by the FDIC. So this measure aims to ensure that more competitive returns will go to account holders moving forward. The plaintiffs in this case are represented by attorneys from Wolf Popper LLP and the Kaplan Law Firm. Their collective efforts have been instrumental in reaching this settlement. So I do want to mention that. I'll also link the actual lawsuit in the description as well. So this case highlights the importance of transparency in the financial sector, especially when it's concerning products that offer interest rates. And hopefully it serves as a reminder for consumers to stay on top of these kind of things. You want to be on top of your financial products, and you want to maintain clear communication whenever you're talking to banks, and vice versa when banks are interacting with customers. So if you believe that you are eligible for compensation under this settlement, it's crucial to stay updated on the proceedings and any required actions that have to be taken on your part. I will do my part. I will update you again in probably a month or a little after June 6th. I like to wait for as much information to come out before I talk about these things, because usually you're not going to have much information in the beginning. But again, I did receive a lot of people that wanted this explained to them. Hopefully this answers your question. Thank you for watching. And if you found this information helpful, please like, please share, and subscribe for more updates. Thanks again, and you guys have a wonderful day.